Medical staff, university students, firefighters. Protests heated up today as public employees demand better working conditions. Hello and welcome to Catalan News. Primary healthcare workers, such as doctors and nurses, continue their week-long strike across Catalonia. And today, one of their rallies ended up with a police cordon preventing them from entering the parliament. Firefighters protesting their work conditions were also involved.
Doctors clashing with police officers, firefighters demonstrating at the gates of the Catalan parliament, and university students blocking the main accesses to their campuses. Protests to demand more resources for the public sector are heating up in Catalonia. It all began on Monday when healthcare professionals began a week-long strike over excessive workload. On the third day of protests, doctors rallied in front of the Catalan parliament where they were joined by firefighters demonstrating against poor working conditions. Tensions rose when some demonstrators tried to break into parliament, and one firefighter was even arrested for assaulting a police officer. Also today, university students began a strike over tuition fees. The Catalan parliament voted to reduce them by 30% 2 years ago, but the measure won't come into effect until it's included in the general budget, still under negotiation.
Se va aprovar aquesta rebaixa perquè suposa l'elitització de la universitat i que exclou a la classe treballadora.
Students will be joined by professors tomorrow who will demonstrate against poor working conditions. Teachers at Catalan schools and high schools are also expected to join the protests.
Que segurament caldran més vagues, caldrà més lluita dins els centres i al carrer. Però estem treballant per aconseguir un marc ampli de mobilitzacions. Unes mobilitzacions sostingudes.
Protesters are urging the administration to spend more on public services. During the financial crisis, governments in Catalonia and Spain resorted to cutbacks to reduce public expenditure. But with the economic downturn over, citizens also want to see an end to austerity measures.
The protest prompted some political reactions. The opposition is calling for the government to focus on public services rather than opening offices abroad. This came as the foreign minister was in Brussels, meeting the international delegates. He also talked about the upcoming trial against jail leaders.
The Catalan government wants the trial against the pro-independence leaders to have a strong echo all around the world. Today, the new foreign minister encouraged the presence of international observers at the upcoming trial.
Encoratjarem a tots aquells que siguin sensibles en aquestes injustícies que puguin assistir i que puguin seguir de prop el procés judicial que és probable que comenci l'any que ve, en algun moment que desconeixem.
Some 20 leaders will face charges in the Spanish Supreme Court over the October 2017 referendum and declaration of independence. 9 of them are now in jail waiting for this moment. Bosch believes the prosecutions are unfair and that the world must know.
Tota aquesta repressió, tots aquests judicis injustos per gent que està a la presó o que està a l'exili per posar les urnes, per organitzar una votació, que tot això es conegui arreu del món.
He made his remarks in Brussels after meeting with all the Catalan government delegates abroad for the first time since taking office last week. Bosch is determined to open new offices all around the world, while the main opposition political force, Ciutadans, rejects it. With thousands of public servants on strike this week, the party is calling for money not to be spent on offices, but on basic services.
Los recortes más salvajes que se han padecido en Cataluña han sido precisamente en sanidad y en educación, y nosotros llevamos muchísimo tiempo reivindicando este retorno de los derechos de los trabajadores de la sanidad pública.
This comes on the same day that the Spanish Constitutional Court accepted for consideration an anti-monarchy motion passed by the Catalan Parliament in October. The Spanish government challenged the resolution a month ago, which included condemning the king and demanding the abolition of the institution he heads. The Spanish monarch remains a highly unpopular figure in Catalonia. He scored an average of 1.8 out of 10 in a recent poll asking about the issue.
In Madrid, the Spanish foreign minister made some controversial remarks about US independence and Native Americans.
Los Estados Unidos de América, ¿por qué los Estados Unidos de América tienen mayor nivel de integración política? Primero, que tienen el mismo idioma todos, y segundo porque tienen muy poca historia detrás. Nacieron a la independencia prácticamente sin historia. Lo único que habían hecho era matar a 4 indios.
Josep Borrell was the target of a lot of criticism today, especially from Catalan politicians. For instance, the former president, Carles Puigdemont, said Borrell was talking like a racist, supremacist and genocide denier, as did a group of Native Americans. This adds to the pressure on the Spanish minister, who is still facing calls to resign after being fined over a share sale based on insider information. Meanwhile, the Andalusian election campaign is underway, and one of the hot issues is the possibility of the far-right Vox group winning seats. It would be the first time that such a thing has happened in a Spanish parliament, and so far, both Ciutadans and the People's Party are willing to talk with Vox if they need them to form a government. Meanwhile, in Barcelona, some far-left organisations have spoken out against threats of illegalisation, coming precisely from the likes of the People's Party, Ciutadans and Vox. They think an anti-fascist front is needed.
Avui és la CUP, és Arran, és qualsevol col·lectiu de l'esquerra independentista. Demà serà qualsevol altre que posi en qüestió el règim o el que pugui fer trontollar aquest mateix règim.
From today, Barcelona Airport has a direct link with Abu Dhabi. The new route was inaugurated with this traditional water salute. Etihad will run 5 flights a week from Barcelona and 7 from next April. It is a great opportunity for the Catalan economy, according to the territory minister. He aims to get similar deals so that the 4.5 million people taking indirect intercontinental flights will no longer have to switch planes. And with this, we leave you for today, but not before showing you images of some beautiful murals in a tiny village in the Catalan Pyrenees. The illustrations vindicate the long history and traditions of the town. Take a look, and we'll see you tomorrow.